Semi-final action as Brazil get ready for what is their biggest game of the year so far, as they front up against the USA in picture for this first semi-final FIVB Volleyball. Last phase of the warm-up with the serve before they come on court. USA have been getting stronger and stronger as this World League has developed. John Spore's team, a new team. There are a few familiar faces: Sander, Shoji, Yeshki, and Christensen, but then the likes of McDonald and Hatch. Benjamin Hatch made a huge impact. Still at university. There is talk he's going to take his last year as he heads to Italy. Maybe taking up photography. Carson Clark, Muagatutia Averill, and Tifalco. Again, new faces to join in with Smith, Watton, and Shoji. And it's a team that really have come together very well. Up against what is a pretty strong Brazilian side with Bruno Wallace, Souza, Lucas Lucarelli. But again, for Brazil, a few injuries in the likes of Lipe and Evandro, forcing them out. Willian, the usual backup setter, taking some time off. An intriguing semi-final to come here at the Arena de Baixada football stadium. We had about 16,000 fans in yesterday when Brazil played, and we've got similar numbers getting in here again today as the two teams make their way out onto court. We are going to have the national anthems of both countries. We'll start with the USA, and then we will finish with Brazil. Spine-tingling moment for the Brazilian players and fans alike as they finish off the national anthem for them. Mohican neck moment, that for sure. The adrenaline will be flowing. There'll be a few nerves. Those butterflies that are in the tummy need to be put into order. Referees today, first official from Russia, Andrei Zenovic. What a character he is, and what a great referee he is as well. And from Serbia, Vladimir Simonovic, the second official. The reserve referee today is Fabrizio Pasquali from Italy, and then up in the challenge area is Nasser Shaban of Egypt. First glimpse of Mr. Deverell. He's got well, he's from Long Beach State. You can probably guess that from the look. Sporting a bit of a homage to Tom Selleck, the honorary captain of the USA. So the USA making their way out onto court. That's how they're lining up. Mika Christensen starting at position 4, the setter. Opposite him, Benjamin Patch, number 14. Through the outside is Taylor Sander and Thomas Jeschke, and then through the middle is David Smith, number 20, and Jeffrey Jendrick, number 4. Eric Shoji will start as libero with Dustin Watton. Will be waiting for his opportunity to come out and have a go. For Brazil, it's a familiar lineup for them as well, with Lucas, number 16, and Souza, number 13, through the middle. They've yet to come out onto court. They will do now, and you'll get the roar as Renan Dal Zotto's team come out, starting with Bruno. They'll be setting, followed by Wallace through the opposite slot, and then it's Maurizio Souza middle blocking, Lucas Satkamp middle blocking, there's a slight area of court needs to be fixed down whilst the players are making their way out, and we have the two outside hitters, Lucarelli and Maurizio. Liberos, Thiago Brendel, number 6, and Jos Tiales, number 8. Tiales will be starting. Looking at the hitting stats for these two teams, leading for Brazil has been Lucarelli, 36 points for him, 32 from Spike, followed by Wallace in the opposite slot with 31 points, 28 from Spike, and then it's Maurizio with 23 points, 19 in attack. Similar story for the USA. Taylor Sander leading with 36 points, 30 from attack. Then Thomas Jeschke just behind, in fact, Benjamin Patch, the opposite player, with 29 points, and then Thomas Jeschke with 27. Middle blockers, David Smith's got 16 points for the USA, and Lucas Satkamp 15 points for Brazil. And what that can tell us is the way that the setters are spreading the ball around, who the go-to player is for each team, and how well they're scoring, and it's very evenly matched. How will that reflect in the match, though? Brazil, the Olympic champions. Away we go with the first semi-final here in Curitiba at the FIVB World League Finals. It's Brazil in yellow serving, the USA in blue receiving, and this is for a place in the gold medal match, and the first point goes the way of the USA, the way of Brazil, in fact. That was unlucky for Jeffrey Jendrick as that ball clipped the top of the net and just rolled over. But an ace serve start for Brazil. Another point for Brazil. They know they want to get off to a good start. And Maurizio making sure that that one doesn't come back. They had a few issues in their semi-final. Bruno and Wallace were having a little bit of a spat. But no issues so far, so good for Brazil. Well picked up by Wallace. And he gets blocked out. And Brazil definitely mean business. The USA, dark horses for this tournament, for this match as well. They get their game going. They know that they can be a threat for Brazil. Brazil know that as well. But right now, it is Brazil who are off to a good start. Only 3-0. And still a long way to go in this game just yet. Sander not with the best of passes, but Patch gets them out of trouble with a great line shot. Lots of room to work with. Ball compressing down onto the line. A good rule of thumb is, if you're line judging, if that ball is shadowing the line, it will be in. Because as the ball compresses down, it will catch that sideline. John Spore doesn't give much away. He might have a long blink now and again. That's about it, summing up his emotions. Bruno for Brazil. Sander is dug. Wallace with a bit of work to do. And Shoji keeps it in play. Oh dear, miss hit from Sander. He'll forget that and get ready to serve, to receive serve. It happens. Off-pace attack, but that's really well played by Brazil, reading it, keeping it off the floor. Scrappy rally, both teams out of system, and Patch makes sure that he gets the point for his team. Tiales with the high hands defense not quite working. Very good pickup by the libero. But it is the USA who take the point eventually. Patch over the top of 3 blockers, over the top of Tiales as well. Smith has been Mr. Steady for the USA throughout this final 6 campaign. Really being able to show exactly what he can do as a starting 6 player for the USA. Christensen ignoring the boos and whistles. Maurizio with an excellent 3-point pass. And that's a lovely block from Sander to slow it down. It's free ball now, though, for Brazil. They've got 3 front court attacking options, plus Maurizio on the pipe. Oh, and Lucarelli is shut out big time. That's a great block from Patch as it comes back off of Lucarelli as he tries to go block out. USA warming up nicely, just 2 in it now. Christensen once again, good serve. Off the net, Lucarelli just keeps it in play. And Sander makes sure that that one hits the floor. Out of system play from Brazil. Changes your mindset when attacking. In system play from the USA, going for the kill. That run of points from the USA has forced Del Zotto's hand. He's called timeout. as expected, packed out around the court, and plenty more filling in up in the gods as Christensen serves again for the US. Another one flirting with the net. And Wallace. He's a unique character, Wallace. I don't think there's anyone else in the world of volleyball as an opposite player who has his approach and hits like he does. Everything said cross court, and still he finds the line. A big serve from Lucas. Excellent. USA have run the B quick, the shoot ball to the middle with great effect for both Jendrick and Smith all tournament long. No chance for Bruno. Huge serve from Sander. Still in play. USA clinging on. Oh, Patch makes the dig just a little bit too high for Jeschke to try and bring it back. That's lovely play from Maurizio as we hit the technical timeout. Brazil leading by 2. It's all plyometric, isn't it, from Wallace as he goes a 2-footed plant and approach and jump. Massive vertical from him. Wallace gets the overpass. Christensen, bit of a rush of blood from Christensen. He was never going to get a hand on it. He's back court, and a needless point given away. I guess you've got to try something. You don't want Brazil just to come and smack it straight back at you. Wallace is going to try it again now from the serving line. Excellent pass from Shoji. Chase is on, but nobody's able to go and get it. Jeschke's point. Getting the wipe off of Bruno. Giving USA the ball back. Smith, he's got an excellent jump serve on him, I should say. And I spoke too soon. Commentator's curse, apologies for all of those you supporting the USA. I won't say that again. But he has been serving really well throughout this tournament. And it's not something we usually get to see. Normally Smith comes on into the front row as a replacement blocker. So actually to see his range of skills and what he brings to this team has been really impressive, and you can see why he's stepped up into the first 6 hitting middle blocking slot. Patch now for the US. Jeschke, Christensen and Jendrick in the front row. A serve from Patch, brilliant serve. And he left the serve-receive unit standing. Well, Maurizio will not be happy with that. He's fronting up against Patch. You could say it's a 1 in 10 serve. If he had another 9 of these, he wouldn't get it in the same spot, which is why Maurizio deals with that. That might come back. Christensen onto it. Shoji has to dig it up in the air for the attack. And a net touch by Jeschke. Couldn't keep his momentum from creating the fault. If you're new to the game and you're wondering why it is that Shoji had to dig it, because he's inside the 3-meter line, he's not allowed to set the ball with his hands for an attack. He can dig it for an attack. One of the rules of being a defensive specialist. He's also not allowed to attack the ball above the height of the net, front court or back court. That man is, though, Sander, flying in. Hang time is amazing. Sander playing his volleyball for Al Arabi Sports Club in Qatar at the moment. Maurizio gets the block out off of that serve from Yeshki to get things going. Bruno back to the serving line. Second time around for him. As Brazil get round one whole rotation. Great up by Lucarelli. Everybody scrambling. That'll be a foot fault actually against Shoji. It's not been spotted. As the libero came around, his foot was the other side of the net. And it's the USA who take the point. Rather fortuitous one. But a great dig by Lucarelli. This is where Shoji goes through. As he comes around now and turns, his foot is over the line. The question is, did it touch or toe the floor? As long as it stayed in the area, they've been okay. As it is, USA have the point. They're only one back now as Jendrik goes with a jump floater. Picking on the front court swing. Lucas off the block and away. And Brazil staying in front at the moment. This game is ticking along nicely. Heavy serve from Maurizio. Heavy spike from Patch. Patch again. And plenty on it to see it sail over the sideline. The difference between block height and net penetration, or court penetration, the angle to which the ball will then come off the hands. But at this level, it's a battle between getting as high as you can and also getting as far across as you can. Oh, pure quality, world-class swing hitting from Lucarelli. Right into the corner. 3 blockers against him. High, hard and long into the corner. Brilliant. Oh, Patch somewhat caught by surprise by that. Lucarelli again. And he's found another impressive angle. First one was deep to the corner. This one just the other side of the 3-meter line. Brazil sneaking a point from the serving line. John Spiror noting that and calling a timeout. Interesting words from John Spiror, just reminding the players of what they do out of system, but also reminding them that whilst you are out of system, you don't have the luxury of not going for it, not in a semi-final. Huge throwdown from Wallace, and we hit the technical timeout. Brazil open up a 4-point gap. Lucas. Christensen's back row, but he was stood on the floor protecting himself, not counting as a block, and that does count as a block. Smith denying Brazil. That's a really good play from David Smith. Sander. Huge serve from him. Free ball now for the US. Not the best of sets to Smith, but he makes something of it. He was a little bit slow and off the net, but he's worked the block very well indeed, has Smith. Souza trying to spread block, didn't work. USA back to within 2. Sander again. Jump float this time. Trying to change the rhythm, making it difficult for Brazil. You have to fancy Bruno's going to come up with all sorts of plays like that. If he fancies an opportunity in the middle, he can take it, especially when you've got Souza and Lucas, who don't need a run-up. They can just jump and hit. Wallace. Lucarelli gets the crowd going. Another timeout called by the USA. It'll be Wallace to serve. Yeah, this spectacular Arena de Baixada. Nice ball in by Shoji. Patch. Showing exactly why he's the starting opposite player for the USA. Smith. Lucarelli keeps it in play. Wallace off the net slightly. USA saying they didn't touch the ball, which means they could challenge that if they wanted to. They can challenge in rally, although the referee's saying he saw it touch the block. Well, it looked like it did catch Jeski, didn't it, as it went up? It rolls up in the air. Or did it? First view kind of looks like it did. Jeski's not taking it any further. Brazil have the point, 5 in front now. USA bench looking on. Maybe an opportunity for one or two of them. Certainly is for the captain, Kawika Shoji, coming on to serve. Oh, brilliant. Ace serve from Shoji. Lokomotiv Novosibirsk, club player in Russia, acing Tiales. He and his brother both playing in Russia for the same club. Both now on court for their country, trying to get back into this set. A let off for Brazil. Nice dig by Lucarelli. Wallace brings it back, but it's a free ball here for the US. They believe it went outside the antenna, and the referee agrees with them. And as soon as it's gone outside that red and white hole, it's out of play. See the signal by the lines official. It's a fine line between success and failure when you're jump serving. Lots of variables you have to get right, technically, as well as the throw. Too far in front, too high, too low, you have problems. No problem for Sander. But these next few rotations are where the USA have to take perhaps even more chances, but they have to force this in order to get back into the set. Very nice from Sander. New server onto court, Garrett Muaga Tutia, who plays his volleyball in China for Tianjin Men's Volleyball Club. It's a good serve. The block did its job and slowed the ball down, but nobody able to go and rescue it, and Brazil now 2 away from taking the opening set. Smith not actually seeing what Lucas was doing, trying to take away an area of court. Belzotto very happy. Maurizio for Brazil. Nice pass. Oh, that was unlucky. Good ball in from Sander, but he went up and kind of snatched at the ball, hitting around it slightly. Thought he was going to take them on cross-court with this. He had the angle for cross, but ripping it around, and now it's set point for Brazil. Crowd on their feet. Maurizio looking to deliver an ace if he can. That would really get the crowd going. It's a big serve, but it's dealt with. And Jeski on the pipe attack saves set point. It's backs to the wall time now, though, for the US, as Christensen will go and serve. First set goes the way of Brazil, 25-20. They're 1-0 up, 2 sets away from a place in the final of the FIVB World League finals here in Curitiba. Back to the drawing board for the US as the teams change ends. The United States have some work to do. So here's the tale of the match so far. Few errors too many for the USA. Always running repairs needed. This is a football stadium, AstroTurf underneath, and they've boarded it out, put down a sprung wood floor, and then laid the volleyball surface over the top. So it may well be that the part of the sprung wood has just popped up a little bit, so screwing it back down to where it needs to be won't affect the players. Put a little bit of tape over the top of that as well, and as most of them have got their knee pads on, they should be fine. Perfect start to the second set for Brazil. That's off the block and away from Sander, despite the fact Brazil were trying to make out as if they hadn't touched it. Andrej Zenovic spotting it straight away. Well, Sander was going to ask for a challenge. He knew he'd got it off the block, but no challenge required. That telepathic connection between Lucas and Bruno in evidence. All the way over, Lucas says, yeah, I'm on the A still, comes in, turns it back across his body. Both teams sporting new kit, post-Olympics. Looking very smart as well. Good dig by Shoji. Rescued by Yeshki. Some work for Patch to do. Lucarelli pops it high for Wallace. And he, cool and calm as you like, gets it off the block and away. Wallace again gets the point, and Brazil are racing away very early in this second set. And there's going to be a change for the USA while we're looking at the replay. So on court comes Garrett Muagatutia to replace Tomasz Jeski. Excellent Patch, so high, able to get that ball off the block and away. Getting the better of Maurizio. Well, there's certainly no fault anywhere. Looking for a centre-line violation, and Renan saying, oh, you're under the line. No, he's not. Interesting, is it what made the coach think he saw that? So the coach just, the referee just saying, look, that was the very last action. That's what you challenged. If you wanted to challenge anything else, you need to press the button at that time in the rally. Otherwise, that's it. Maurizio will go back and get ready to hammer the ball. That's a good swing from Muagatutia. He'll be pleased with that. Confidence booster coming onto court in this tight situation, and that is excellent. Patch with the ace serve. Turning across his body, Maurizio thinks it's out. He's unlucky. It's right on the line. Patch again. A good serve, but this time Brazil handle it tight to the net, and it's Wallace following through, catching the net, spotted by the first referee. Wallace had a torrid time against Brazil, against I should say Russia in the game yesterday. He was in the pocket of Volkov, who got his blocking angles perfect against Wallace. This time Patch unable to find his mark. You just wonder whether or not the USA were watching that and thinking, right, Volkov got so many blocks against him. How did he do it? What did he do? How can we replicate it? Because it did cause Brazil a lot of issues in a match that went to 5 sets. Sander looks like he's being pulled up in the air on strings. He jumps so high and then just hangs around there. Oh, that's a great swing from Garrett. Patch doing his bit. He's not just an attacker, he's a defender as well. And Garrett with little room to work with, but enough to get the ball past Wallace. The way that Wallace comes in, more often than not, the line isn't available to him, and that's what Volkov did. He just took away massive amounts of cross-court. You could see where Wallace is facing. He's pretty much facing the second referee as he goes up to hit the ball, trying to find those sharp angles. That time it ran away from him. But you get one hand into Wallace's head, your left hand, the other hand just going massively across court, right across court. You could end up doing what Volkov did. He got about 4 or 5 blocks against Wallace. This time it's Lucarelli with one-on-one, getting it away cross-court. Shoji thinks it's out, but it's been given as in. Much better showing in this second set from the USA. 1 in it, and a chance for the US to have the lead at the technical timeout. Jendrik does that. And we hit the first technical timeout with the USA 8-7 up. High and wide, but not so handsome as Lucarelli. Oh, he's got it off the pinky, but no one challenged it. USA get away with a touch. So I guess if the players don't see it or hear it, it's never going to be admitted to. You can get away with a touch even when there is a challenge system available. That was a big old touch from Wallace. Sander off the elbow and away. Lucarelli. Excellent leave by Sander. He was being targeted as the front court swing hitter, trying to make it difficult for him, sending him back to that corner, just putting extra pressure on an attacker, making them pass, get into position and then get ready to hit. over the course of a match. As a front court swing hitter, you can have an awful lot to do. Fans cheering every mistake that the USA make here. It's up to the USA to try and keep the fans quiet by winning points. Souza. You can tell because you can hear the US when they win the point. They're the only ones cheering. Smith getting past Lucas with ease. Chases on. Garrett. Oh, clever. Didn't try and hit it hard. Out of system play. Knew he had at least 2, possibly 3 blockers against him, and just went for the block out. That just abusing Bruno. Brilliant ace serve Sander. And the USA are getting up ahead of steam in this second set. So much so, Brazil have called the timeout. John Sparor bringing off Yeshki and putting on Garrett is making a difference. A huge roar, as you would expect for Brazil taking the point, but they are still behind. No chance for Shoji. Patch with a late close on the block. Nice work by Tiales. That's in a good spot as well. Target one, but a bit too tight. Did Wallace touch the net? No, he didn't. Smith can't bring it back. And Brazil are just 1 behind now. Great pickup. Well, that looked to me like Wallace was in the net, but no one challenging it. Good up from Bruno. Oh, brilliant pickup by Christensen. Another chance for Brazil. And now they take it. Sanders stood there, just seemed to go by him. Brazil have levelled. Momentum with the hosts. Bit of beach volleyball from Bruno. Oh, right in between the 2 defenders, Christensen and Sander on the same shoulder line. Bruno, strong rotations for Brazil with 3 front court attackers plus the back court options. But it's the USA who have the side out. So US with the serve, Smith with it. Good serve as well. Brazil with a tidy side out. Garrett will be disappointed he didn't go and make a three-man block with that set coming way from position one. Maurizio, crowd wanting an ace. And they got exactly the opposite. Renan Del Zotto, a very different character to Bernardinho. One thing's for sure, he's a lot cheaper. He's not getting through any headsets whatsoever. Oh, massive swing from Lucas. That one was taken to Spike Town, a super spike. And here comes the boom from Lucas. See quick-tastic. No, he's unable to back it up. We hit the technical timeout. USA leading by 1. Brazil leading by 1 set to nothing. It'll be Garrett Muaga-Tatia for the US. Good serve from him. Oh, that's a great block. Back off Lucarelli and away. Jendrik and Christensen put up a wall. In fact, it come off Souza, who knew nothing about it because he wasn't covering properly. Great block from Jendrik. Jendrik's at Loyola University. Not quite this time for Garrett. Quite a few of the US team still at college. Just shows the strength in depth and the youth that's available for Speror to choose from. Wallace. Jendrik, lovely. Up early, nice and straight in the air, cutting it across his body. Oh, that's brilliant. What a pickup that is from Garrett. And there's a chance here maybe for the US if they can get someone who'll have a swing. It's Sander, and he's done it off the block and away. That is a never give up, never say die attitude from the US. Brilliant from Garrett. Fantastic swing. Lovely play from the USA. Transition at its best. It'll be Jendrick to serve for the USA. 3-point lead now. And a chance maybe for the USA to level the match. But once again, Bruno finds the middle. Love the way he holds his hands high and then uses his shoulders to fling the ball towards the middle. Thiago Brendel's coming in for some libero action. And also on court, Renan, 2 meters and 15. Looking to add some height at the net, perhaps shut down Sander. Try as they might, they cannot stop Taylor Sander. And he gets a side out for the US. 3 blockers against him. Taking on Maurizio and beating him. Renan slowed down, maybe a chance here as it goes wide. Sander again. Brilliant from Sander, disguised roll shot over the top of the block. Everyone was expecting something different. Great up by Christensen. Does that caught hands? Yes, it has. It's another fantastic swing from Taylor Sander. Those of you that have been watching the US throughout this final 6 would have noticed that in the first game, Sander was hitting very steep, getting caught out. Last game and this game, he's doing that. Going for hands, looking for block out, looking for the last third of court. It's made a huge difference to the fortunes of the US team. Brazil reversing their double substitution, bringing Bruno back in, and it works for them as they get the side out. Once again, setting the middle from the 3-meter line, Bruno. But plenty of pace on the ball, double the speed out of his hands into Souza. Bit of a miss hit from Patch. Well, that's what you get with rookie players. You get magnificent plays and you do get the odd error. Still very much learning what it's all about here at the top level of world volleyball. And even the experienced players can find it tough at times as Brazil make a block to get themselves to within 2. And that's 2 points too close as far as Sparrow's concerned as he calls the timeout. Big point this for the USA. They side it out. They get to 3. Ease some pressure. Get closer to the set. They have to do it the hard way. Sander. Well, Wallace gets the point. The timeout didn't really work for the US. Brazil back to within 1. Finds a gap between Smith and Patch. It was indeed a super spike, but it's still the USA's set to control if they can side out. They have done now. Sander popping up through 2. This is very much USA set, regardless of what Sander does with this serve. A roar because Brazil have the side out, but the USA are siding out to bring up set point now, and that's what they'll be telling themselves. Stay calm, stay focused, stay in the moment, and not lose sight of what they have to do. It's just another point. Bruno with the serve for Brazil. Crowd are up early, they think they've won the point. They might do now, though. Oh, that was a... Goodness me, how on earth did they get away with that? Unbelievable scenes here, the crowd on their feet. Bruno often celebrating. It looked like he misset it. Oh, a sclaff from Lucas. Wafting on the ball. Garrett didn't know where it was. And Brazil take the point. That was a cruel blow for the US. Understandably, John Spiro called the timeout. But the scenario remains the same. A side out, and the USA have set point. Bruno with the serve. Top ball in, middle's available. And Smith wraps it off of Lucas's block and away, silencing the crowd and bringing up that set point. But the odds are this is going to go to 24 all, and we'll then be playing for the first to get 2 clear. Smith, though, could have a say in this with his jump serve. It's a great serve from Smith, has to go wide. Oh, he goes to the middle, and it costs them big time. The USA take the set. Bruno tries to make something out of nothing, and it doesn't work. Top serve from Smith. Looked like it was going to go wide, should have gone wide, really. And Brazil pay the price for trying something a bit sneaky. Not that time from Lucas. The USA take the set, it's 1 set all. Here are the highlights. Confirmation of the scores. It's one set apiece, and just looking back at that set point that the USA took through that reverse set from Bruno to the middle against Lucas. We have a look at the stats. Mark Lebedew, the Australian head coach, has written a blog this week talking about setters and creativity. What is a creative setter? And that kind of play probably doesn't go down as creative, but would it have been classed as being creative had Lucas put it on the floor? People now be looking at it saying, well, it certainly wasn't creative. It was a bit crazy, might have been a bit silly. But there are a lot of factors probably that contributed to that attempt at going to the middle. One, because he can. Two, because he's on home soil and the crowd would have gone absolutely nuts as he got it in, as we have a look at where the serves have been going. And three, because it's Bruno. But was that just a bit of a rush of blood instead of keeping it sensible, high and wide? Out to where Lucarelli was waiting and a chance to have a swing. Would that have been the best option? Certainly in hindsight would have been. It would have given Brazil a chance to have a hit at the ball. By the by now, though, it's resigned to talking points in the bar. And something to reflect on. And all, of course, would be forgotten if Brazil win the match. But if they don't, that would become a talking point, wouldn't it? Third set about to get underway. Muaga Tutia keeps his place on court for the USA. No changes for Brazil as Souza gets ready to serve. That hasn't come off the block. Cheeky look up to the big screen, but it's not being replayed anywhere. Well, yes, we can have a look now. Ooh, that has caught the finger, hasn't it? That's definitely caught a finger. And no one's... Wow, goodness me, no one's gone for a challenge. And it was shown on the big screen as well, but no one was looking. A couple of times now, the US have had opportunities to challenge. They haven't. Would you saying that? So have Brazil. The challenge system here means that you can call for touches in the block, net touches, antenna touches, foot faults, ball in, ball out. And you can call them any time in the rally as well, if it's not spotted by the ref. Maurizio with a big block on Patch, who's having a bit of an issue at the moment at position 4. French team are in. They're involved a little bit later on. Liniel and Cole are on Tilly behind him. Probably the best libero in the world right now. Genia Grebenikov also looking on. So the US calling that timeout. And just to reaffirm what John Spurall was saying, they got good blocking matchups here that they want to make use of. Just got to take their opportunities. Patch again, struggling. How long will Spurall keep faith in him, or will he make changes? We can bring on Carson Clark, who's currently part of the USA national team, not playing in a club side anywhere. Not doing anything for the moment, though. Sander gets the first point for the US. So sometimes not doing anything is the best thing to do. to be making rash decisions. Still a long way to go in the set. And Sander gets that through Maurizio. That's Tiales's job, making sure the ball gets to the setter, and that's Wallace's job, making sure the ball goes on the floor. Garrett whipping that one away across his body. You'll see players coming in, pinning cross-court, trying to give themselves then two options to attack the ball, either the way they're facing or then over their shoulder to the line. That tries to fix the block in one position to leave the gap somewhere else. And Maurizio gets the block out. 6-2, big lead for Brazil. Well, they had a big lead in the second set and contrived to throw it away. That one, block out and also net touch. Excellent pass. And Patch gets it into Lucas's hands, who almost caught hold of that. Throws it behind him. And the USA have their side out. Patch has thrown that too far into court. And he is struggling a little bit, the young man. Just needs to get control of his game and help to guide the USA back into this one. Whoa, what a block. What a block that was from Souza. 8-3 Brazil, first technical timeout. They certainly mean business in this set. Souza shutting down that be quick. Watching it like a hawk and pouncing on Jendrik. Well, apologies if you're experiencing a few technical difficulties and not being able to hear what's being said during the timeouts. Whilst my Portuguese is non-existent, I will try and relay back to you what's being said by the USA bench. On that occasion, it was just about, come on, we'll get into this. Plenty of time. And there is plenty of time, plenty of points to play with. But at the moment, Brazil have 5 more than the USA. Could be 6. It is 6 more. Wonderful serve from Lucas. Nothing Christensen could do about that one. Tatia ignoring the boos with a Clayton Stanley and Matt Anderson-esque serve-receive or service. But it's dispatched by Brazil. Jendrik late. Souza beating him. Wallace now with the serve. Christensen putting Jendrik straight back in, establishing him through the middle and giving Souza something to think about. Good duel between those two middle blockers. All smiles for Brazil at the moment, isn't it? It's a bit of a tough one for the US, and a change being made. Patch has gone off. Fair to say he hasn't played that well in this set, and so Thomas Jeschke's come in to replace him in the opposite slot. And Carson Clark remains on the bench. Onto the line from Sander, who has been very reliable. So the challenge coming from Brazil, they believe it was out, and they were wrong. A serve from Sander. That is quality. He's done that a few times in this tournament. From that right-hand side, cutting it, shining the ball to the other position one. No chance with Ciales with that. Sander again. This time the power down the line at Maurizio, and Maurizio's made the error. Sander's on a roll. The USA are on a run. And Brazil slightly under the cosh. Timeout called. That's a very serious face from Maurizio. Bruno with the serve again. Well, that was unlucky. Lucas using his foot and keeping it in play, but it just went up onto the ref stand. Seems like every Brazilian can play football. Although maybe not quite Lucas with that one. Nice play from Yeshki. Smith. Well read by the USA. That was the only place Bruno could go with that set. Well, unfortunately, though, Yeshki's hit the antenna, and it is Brazil who take the point. Maurizio. Lynette taking the full force of that one. Another set that Bruno could only go to the middle with, but this time Lucas puts it away, and at the technical timeout, Brazil lead by 5. I guess you wouldn't say that was all down to the game plan. That's improvisation from Bruno, to the delights of his coach. That's back to the USA we know and love. For those of you that support the USA, obviously I'm neutral. Off the block and away from Sander using the pipe that arguably was invented by Brazil, but if you do talk to a few former national team players from the US, they'll tell you that it was something they used in training back in the late 80s, but didn't quite make it to matches. Certainly brought to the world's attention by Brazil, and now copied by everyone. Lucarelli with a great swing. There was a roar, but it was muted because the USA take the point. It was a block, but it was out. Brazil doing the business as Maurizio gets past Smith. Christensen gets the overpass. Smith will pop it up for Christensen to pull the strings. Oh, that's a great dig by Tialis, and it'll stay in play. Jeschke just batters it off of Maurizio. And the USA have a valuable point in the context of the way this set is going. Another good serve. This time, though, Maurizio cushions that one better, allows Bruno to find the middle through Sousa. And Brazil have the side out to go with it. A wild one from Sousa. They can't bring it back. It gone inside the antenna and out of play, so it was a pointless chase. Well, there's a challenge coming. Well, it's all looking good for Brazil at the moment. The USA could do with this. There's a big difference, isn't there, between 2016 and 1917. Oh, he's miles behind the line. Excellent fast arm from Garrett. Went up, just waited, then changed his rhythm to whip that ball past the block. Took that early because he knew he had the space to do it. Always tough when you're defending down the line with no blocker in front of you. Smith. A serve from Smith. Brilliant. And met with silence from Brazil and from the fans, and stunned looks from the serve-receive unit. Brazil call the timeout. Is there still a twist in this set? Smith sets himself once again. It was an ace last time out. What's he got in his locker this time? Another good serve. But dispatched by Lucas through the middle. And order restored by Brazil in this set. Libros switching in and out for Brazil. Tiales off and Brendel in as Maurizio gets ready to serve. Perfect pass. But not the perfect swing from Muaga Tutia. He was just a little bit low and inside. He wasn't quite quick enough, was it? It looked like a quicker play from Christensen. It's a little bit behind him. Unforced error, and US called timeout. Sporol not saying anything in that timeout. It was all Matt Ferbringer, the assistant coach, having a little chat with Jendrik, but just calling the timeout really to try and take the sting out of what Brazil are doing. Slow things down, give them a chance to refocus and get the side out. Give Maurizio something to think about. Kept in play miraculously by the USA, but not for much longer as Lucarelli hammers it down. Jendrik playing the ball when that should have been Garrett's, and it's cost the USA a point. Maurizio once again. Ooh, Lucarelli got the block, but it goes out of play. And now Brazil switch their libros again. Tiales deemed to be a better passer, as that one goes way wide. And Brendel a better defender. So the passing specialist Tiales in. Doesn't have to do anything. And now it's set point Brazil. A muted response as that one is put away by Jendrik from the Brazilian fans. But lots of set points to play with now for Brazil to go 2-1 up. Muaga Tutia will serve. Deafening noise. But he gets it in play. Lucarelli. Good up by the USA. They're going to have a swing to stay in the set. Did Sander catch the block? No, he didn't. There'll be a challenge coming. It's not quite over yet. Not until the challenge referee says it is. Did it catch the block? Or are Brazil 2-1 up? Oh, it hasn't caught anybody. And Brazil are 2-1 up. They're one set closer to the final. It's all smiles for the Samba boys here in Curitiba. And it's delight for the fans. Here's the tail of the set. So the USA made 10 errors, which is what Brazil got. And Brazil only made 4. So this is where the spikes came from, cross-court, down the line. Only 5 spikes returned. Very impressive stats for the Brazilian team. Very nicely choreographed. The USA have it all to do now. But that won't be bothering them too much. It's still a set to be won, and then if they win it, a set to win after that as well. Sander with the serve to get this 4th set underway. No changes for Brazil. Patch back in for the US. And Muaga Tutia keeps his place on court. Thomas Jeschke stays on the bench. And the US have the point from serve. Getting the ball into transition, and Smith over the top. Maurizio straight back. Great play from Lucarelli, just focusing on the one thing he had to do, show a platform, let Bruno know where it was going, then Bruno fires it out to Maurizio to put it away. Well, that's some dig from Wallace, didn't know a great deal about it. Even been more impressive dig from Lucarelli. And Maurizio jumped way too early, uses his hang time to get past the block. Wonderful point for Brazil. Good dig from Lucarelli. And then good improvisation from Maurizio. Souza. Muaga Tutia under pressure here. Well, Souza not on the same wavelength as Bruno. In fact, it was Maurizio. Bruno just losing his bearings slightly, thinking perhaps Lucas was in front of him. High and wide for Wallace. Oh, good up by Smith. And that's unlucky. As that one goes wide, but they're going to challenge net touch against Brazil. That's a cracking rally. And at the moment, it's Brazil who have the point, but it could be going USA's way. The net was already going up and down, so no fault with that one. And so Brazil have the point. No ifs, buts or maybes. Just in complete awe of Sander when he jumps. He gets so high. Patch. Good leave by Lucarelli. Maurizio has to throw his hands at the ball. Muagatia again, and he's blocked this time. Muagatia didn't get the best swing first time round, under even more pressure second time round. What a dig from Bruno. Maurizio kept it in play. And Muagatia trying to go to the line, but Wallace denied him. Brazil making some inroads now into this set, worryingly so for the US. Excellent dig from Brendel. But for once, Bruno's football skills letting him down. He was only ever going to go with his feet. Those advertising hoardings would be painful if he hit them. Brazil making mincemeat of that jump serve from the US. Very tidy swing. Another point for Brazil. They are really trying to get behind each other and bond, and that's some pickup from Bruno. The intent is there for all to see. And that's some finish from Maurizio. Christensen. Lovely from Sander. Good dig. And Smith tickles that one past the block. And we hit the technical timeout. USA leading by 1, but trailing by 2 sets to 1. John Spurrell wanting everybody up and then just telling them they have to work their butts off. That's what they've got to do now, just dig deep, work hard, try and make something happen. Very good serve from Christensen, but just about the perfect response from Brazil. Under pressure from the serve, putting the ball high to the middle of court, the 3-meter line. And those of you not perhaps so technically savvy with the volleyball, it's generally called target 1, high into the middle, which allows the setter to come off the net, still has options, and for Bruno, no difficulty in getting the ball out wide. Unfortunately for Smith, he's overcut that one. Now just a jump float from him. Oh, wow, he was just about to say how brilliant that was, but unfortunately for Sander, he's hit it straight down, but he's missed the court. Peachy set. And unfortunately Sander has missed his mark. Wallace just keeps it in play. And now it's the USA on the back foot. Free ball for Brazil. 2 front court options. Wallace at 10. Good covering from Bruno. Lucarelli gets it over. Patch again. And he's missed on the sideline. 2 unforced errors in a row from the US, and Brazil now leading by 3. Over rotation from Patch, hitting the ball on the side as well and giving that some extra spin away from the court. The USA calling timeout. Lucarelli. Excellent ball in from Shoji. And this time Sander finds his mark. Maurizio's got it off the block and away. And John Sparrow was screaming at Jeschke and Smith to say, boys, did you touch it? Because the referee gave it as a touch. They're saying no, they didn't. So we have a challenge now. It is quite important to actually get the coach involved because he has to call the challenge. They weren't actually looking to see what the decision was. All come into the huddle together, which is fine when there's no challenge system, but when the challenge is there, you do need to make sure that that information can be done. And it has gone right through the block and not touched anybody. The challenge is correct. USA have the point. And that shows as well how key communication is, and knowing when to be able to give that communication and when you do need to let your coach know what's going on. Sander will serve again. Excellent play from the US. Once again, Bruno guilty of trying to be a little bit too flash. He's got an option. He's got Maurizio right in front of him, and that'd be quite a quick option as well, because Smith was all the way over the other side of court, and now Smith makes the block. And he's way up there as well, isn't he, Smith? Excellent work from the middle blocker for the US. That's another ripper. That's got an even better serve this time from Sander. Oh, Wallace gets the block out. Clever play from Wallace. Top serve from Sander. Well rescued and well finished by Brazil. Press a little late from Smith. Brazil just keeping their noses in front at the moment in this set. Oh, that was wonderful. Christensen goes C-quick. Smith hammers it away. High and wide this time for Maurizio. He works the block, but US have a chance. Good covering from Christensen, but he's been given a carry against him. First contact, you can have double touches, but you're not allowed to carry the ball. It's not allowed to stay in the hands. Good call from the ref, no arguments from the US. Bruno makes the dig. Can Maurizio finish it off? He can indeed, off the hands and away. And Christensen just over having a word with the referee, perhaps about the setting. No question it was off the block. Just maybe trying to get in the referee's head. Bruno. Overpass, Lucas makes sure of the point. Brazil opening up a lead. A timeout's been called by the USA. Even though there's a technical timeout at 16, that's an irrelevance at this level. Sparrow saying everything's still possible. Keep your heads up at the serving line. Chances are there, you just got to take them. And that's why Spirall wouldn't be waiting for the technical, because he would rather go into the technical timeout 16-15 up. That's why the timeout was called. Now, Jeschke, nicely served from him. Kept in play, oh, not quite. Sander with a desperate attempt, but it's Brazil who take the point and head into the second technical, leading by 3. That was a good set from Bruno. That was a great pickup from Sander, but just unable for anyone else to get onto it. Jeschke works the block well. He's come on and replaced Patch. That's a good swing. Garrett. Those points, those missed opportunities can hurt psychologically if you let them. Excellent from Jeschke. Working Lucarelli's fingers. Really good save this from Jeschke. What was a difficult situation for the US. Onto court now is Daniel McDonnell. First time in the match for him. Oh, dear me. That's not what the USA wanted. It's not what he wanted, and it wasn't like he was doing it on purpose, but that's a bit of a hammer blow for the US. A free point for Brazil. Now it's Wallace. Joust at the net, and play continues. Jeschke again finds a way through. Always love a good joust at the net. Jeschke be loving that. Just too far in front of Christensen. As he got his shoulders ahead of his hips, he was losing height. The net was always coming into play. Now, Lucarelli being told where to serve by his coach, Del Zotto. Tactical play, this one. That's why he's going with the jump floater. Going after Muaga Tutia. Sander with the roll. Great up from Bruno, but nobody able to help him out. It looked as if Sousa just lost his balance. He's slightly obscured from the commentary position. Indeed, he's going completely the wrong way and can't get back, and that's what happens when you don't post the leg nearest to the outside blocker. And as such, he was drifting laterally. If he'd have gone up and down, he'd landed, he could have then gone after the ball. Well, those are the risks you take. USA have the side out. Sander with the serve. Had a really good serving run last time round. He needs to match that again. No, that's not bad. He's made Sousa play the ball. And the US have it in transition. Jeski. Good up. Well, a bit of a carry maybe on the set, but play continues. And Brazil take the point and extend their lead. And quite rightly, Christensen just saying to the referee, come on, was that a carry on the set behind? Maybe, maybe not. Frustration for the US. Renan's coming into block. Or is he? Who's he coming in for? It's Bruno. He wouldn't be coming in for Maurizio. Although Bruno wasn't quite sure. Three players, 2 meters plus tall at the net for Brazil. No setter on court. Mind you, doesn't matter if Maurizio's there, does it? He's already shown his skills. Chances are Lucarelli will be asked to play the ball if it comes up in transition. If. And that's not coming up. Brilliant from Sander. Everyone going with Smith, and Sander had a free swing. Kind of a pointless thing to do against David Smith, as he's got hearing aids in. He won't have heard anyone screaming at him. Brazil sided out. They're edging closer to the end of the match here, Brazil. Closer to a place in the final. Excellent dig from Bruno. Wallace. Not quality set, and that's off the block and away. Tori DeFalco, the Long Beach State volleyballer, getting an introduction and getting a point. Jeski. Nice serve. Wallace can't find a way through. Maurizio can, but the USA send it back again. Great up. Sander rips it, but he hasn't found the baseline. And a sigh of relief for Brazil. Great dig by Jeski. Good up by DeFalco. It was right in the sweet spot for Sander. He just couldn't get it down in time. So close. Unforced error. Brazil now 2 away from victory. The 1-foot Yahoo not working for the USA. Bruno ducking out of the way. And the USA ducking out of this game. They're certainly not going to give up without a fight. But they are on the back foot here. Maurizio. No carry given. Lucarelli pops it up. Sander keeps it in play. This will have to come over. Oh dear, what a shame for the US. It's now match point for Brazil. It was off the heel of the hand, so no carry. And then Jeski also off the heel of his hand. This is what the coach was thinking. Well, we don't get to see that, but we're going to get to see this now. Everyone on their feet here at the Arena di Baixada. Maurizio with the serve. Match point for Brazil. It is an ace serve. It's all over. Brazil are through to the final. The crowd go wild. The players come on court to celebrate. The USA will be playing for bronze. Well, it was a great game, and the USA did themselves proud. They gave it everything they had. It just wasn't quite enough in the end. And despite a few blips from Bruno, it's Brazil who blast their way to the final. This is how it was done. Jump float serve, and it just fell flat in front of Sander. Agonizing way to lose the match.
A gente tem aqui em quadra o representante do Paraná na seleção brasileira. Lucas Lota aqui para dar um recado para vocês. Esse liga aí.
Galera, vocês têm feito toda a diferença aqui. Então amanhã a gente conta com vocês mais uma vez. Tamo junto, valeu, vambora!
E é isso aí, galera, daqui a pouquinho, a segunda semifinal. França e Canadá disputam para ver quem irá enfrentar o Brasil na final da Liga Mundial. Lembrando a torcida que o ingresso dá direito às duas partidas. Para isso, é necessário que o torcedor não saia de dentro da arena, ok? Dá para ir no bar, dá para ir ao banheiro, na sequência voltar para cá para conferir a segunda semifinal entre França e Canadá.
Well, I'm delighted to be joined by Lucarelli. That was some game.
Yeah, we are very happy and proud of our guys. In 5 years we were in 4 finals, so this time we want to win, and we'll do our best tomorrow. We don't know how we're gonna face tomorrow, our friends from Canada. Now we have to rest and do our best tomorrow.
How important was it for you to get to the final here in Curitiba in front of the home fans?
Oh, it's always good to play at home. The last year we played in Maracanãzinho, the Olympic Games was amazing, and today we can see it's full, and tomorrow probably more. So for us it's really good. Everybody is helping us a lot, and our family is here, so I'm very happy for that.
Well, congratulations on the win and good luck in the final.
Thank you, thanks so much.
And what a game that was. That just about wraps up our coverage. We hope you've enjoyed it. It's time to say goodbye and leave you with the highlights.
Final da Liga Mundial 2017 entre Brasil e o vencedor da partida que começará dentro de instantes. dias, você que vai até os bares da arena, aproveite esse momento para levar aí o seu lixo, para depositar ele nas lixeiras que a gente tem espalhado nos corredores, ok? Vamos manter aqui o nosso ambiente limpo da maneira que a gente encontrou quando chegou aqui. Vamos lá, galera, já já para vocês, Canadá e França!